Welcome to the Far Out. There are 1.4 billion of us. That is 1 out of every 7 people in the world. And a number of Indian origin players to play in the Football World Cup so far is First, let's have a look at how many footballers actually have played in the World Cup. In the World Cup of 2018 in Russia, there were 736 players participating from 32 different countries. Now, there have been 21 World Cups so far. The first few editions had fewer teams. So let's assume there have been on average 500 football players that have featured in every World Cup. For the sake of this video, we will assume that number. 500 players per edition for 21 World Cups, which means over 10,000 players. Now, many players do end up playing more than one World Cup. So let's say out of those 10,000, 7,000 of them are unique players. How many among these 7,000 footballers who featured in the World Cup at least once are of Indian origin? Dr. Strange already answered the question for us. Here is giving us a subtle hint. Earlier on the channel, we did an episode on France, exploring the origins of football in France. You can check the video over here. While going through the old stuff and the new, we stumbled upon someone who is the only player of Indian origin to have ever played in the World Cup. Now, if you have been watching football in the 2000s, especially the World Cup in 2006 in Germany, you already know which player I'm talking about. Between 1999 and 2006, this former French international who played in the midfield earned 18 caps and scored once for France during his international career. In the early 1970s, his parents had moved from Mauritius to France, where he was born. The Indian connection? His ancestors were from India who migrated to Mauritius. He spent most of his career with Lyon, winning Ligue 1 twice in 2003 and 2004. He also had stints at Paris Saint-Germain and Bordeaux in France. He played 1 year at Italy's AC Milan, where he was an unused substitute during the 2005 UEFA Champions League final. Yes, that Champions League final. But most importantly, he represented Les Bleus at the 2006 FIFA World Cup in Germany. Again, he was an unused substitute in most games of France campaign, where they finished as runner-ups. That's because in the midfield, France had a certain Zinedine Zidane who carried the whole French team on his back to that edition's final. However, he did get some match time during France's group stage encounter against Switzerland and South Korea, getting substituted in bit after the 80th minute in both games, 10 to 15 minutes of game time each. And that's it. That's how much time an Indian origin player has spent on the field in a World Cup. Post-retirement, he has dabbled in coaching, television and politics. He is an avid advocate of civil rights who also works actively to fight poverty in countries such as India and has established several programs for it. His name? Vikash Dhorasu. So that wraps this segment. Let us know in the comments below of what you thought of this episode of Stumbled Upon. When do you think we'll see Team India play at a Football World Cup? So join the conversation. Indian football is not going to grow on its own. We need to do our part as well. And one day, who knows, India will be playing in the World Cup.